Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you a question. Have you ever reached a point in your life where you just had to disappear? No notice, no explanations, just gone. You've all been there, whether it was to escape the noise, the drama, or the constant demands of others who don't understand you. It's a moment when you realize you need to protect your peace, to guard what's left of you. But here's the truth. When you become unreachable, when you step into that space of silence, there's something powerful that happens, something bigger than you ever imagined. At first, they'll call, they'll text, they'll wonder where you've gone, why you've gone quiet. They'll reach out to others trying to find pieces of you in conversations that don't matter. They'll search for you in places they know you've outgrown. But let me tell you something right now. You're not lost. You're not gone. You're evolving. You're becoming something greater than the person they tried to keep you in their small, controlled world. When you become unreachable, something shifts in the universe. It's like you've stepped off the battlefield, and for the first time in a long while, you can breathe. You start to hear your own thoughts again. You start to hear your own heart. The noise fades, the distractions die down, and you, for the first time in what feels like forever, are left with yourself. But here's the thing most people don't tell you. When you choose to become unreachable, there's a price to pay. People who don't understand your need for space will feel abandoned. They'll take it personally, like it's something they did wrong. But in reality, they're just unwilling to accept that you can no longer pour from an empty cup. You're not walking away from them. You're walking toward yourself. And that is something they'll never understand until they too are forced to face their own demons in silence. Self-preservation is something we often neglect in the hustle and bustle of life. In today's world, where we are constantly surrounded by external pressures, family, friends, work, and society, it can feel impossible to take a step back and focus on ourselves. We're conditioned to believe that being constantly available, being present for others, and sacrificing our own needs is the definition of love, loyalty, and success. But here's the hard truth. We cannot pour from an empty cup. If we don't preserve ourselves, our mental health, our emotional well-being, our peace, we will eventually break. That's why self-preservation is key. It's not just about protecting yourself from others. It's about protecting yourself from yourself, from the expectations and demands you've placed on your own life. When you start to prioritize self-preservation, you begin to realize that it's not about being selfish or cold. It's about recognizing that you are a finite being with limits. Every time you say yes to something that drains you, every time you push yourself beyond your breaking point, you are slowly eroding your own strength. We often ignore the signs, the stress, the anxiety, the feeling of being overwhelmed. We tell ourselves that it's normal, that it's just part of life, but it's not. It's a warning. It's your mind and body telling you that you need to stop, that you need to take a step back and breathe. Self-preservation starts with recognizing those signs and responding to them before it's too late. In the modern world, the idea of self-preservation can be misconstrued as an act of arrogance or indifference. People may see you as selfish or distant, as if you're refusing to show up for them. But what they don't understand is that when you're constantly giving, constantly available, and constantly saying yes, you are not helping anyone. You're only enabling them to rely on you to an unhealthy degree, while you are slowly diminishing your own capacity to give. When you preserve yourself, you're not just benefiting yourself, you're also benefiting those around you. You become stronger, clearer, and more capable of offering genuine support because you've learned to recognize and honor your own needs. The people who truly care about you will understand that taking care of yourself doesn't mean you care about them any less. It simply means you are stronger for them when they need you. Self-preservation requires setting boundaries, something that many people struggle with. It's so easy to fall into the trap of pleasing others, to fear conflict, or to worry about disappointing someone. But the truth is, setting boundaries isn't just a right, it's a necessity. Without boundaries, we allow others to define our time, our energy, and our emotions. We let them control how we feel, how we act, and how we navigate the world. When we finally make the decision to preserve ourselves, we reclaim control over our lives. We say no when we need to, we step away when we're overwhelmed, and we prioritize our mental and emotional health above all else. It's not easy, and it doesn't happen overnight. But the more you practice self-preservation through boundaries, the stronger you become in your ability to navigate life with purpose and power. There will always be people who don't understand why you need space. There will always be those who demand your attention, your presence, and your energy, even when you've clearly reached your limit. This is where self-preservation becomes even more important. You must learn to ignore the external noise and trust in your own judgment. You must learn to protect your energy from those who don't respect your boundaries and to stop allowing them to manipulate your emotions or your time. It's hard, especially when those people are close to you, family, friends, colleagues, or loved ones. But the truth is, their inability to understand your need for space is not your problem. It's their challenge to overcome, not yours. When you preserve yourself, you acknowledge that you can't be everything to everyone, and that's okay. You can't give people what you don't have. And sometimes the most loving thing you can do is to give yourself the space you need to heal and grow. Self-preservation also means learning to protect your mind from toxic thoughts and influences.